Let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
All
soon.
time, we got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. I was up here late night, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm up here early. What is it? 8:30 something, 8:33. I am one of the hardest working Big Brother pages on the planet. So show me some love. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. As I told all y'all last night, I'm going into the office today, so I know that when the actual nominations happen, I won't be able to go live right at that time like I usually do. So that's why I'm doing this quick one before I leave. And this is really going to be quick for real, like the like one of the many alliances, because I have to start getting ready to go into the office shortly. Good morning, Edward. So, even though I am a new Big Brother fan, I am a Big Brother expert. I'm a Big Brother connoisseur. If you look at my track record of things that I say when it comes to Big Brother, so many of them have been right from last year to this year. It's only been 1 year that I've been covering them. But if you go back and watch all my old videos and you're like, this is what Mark said is a possibility to happen, and then you look at what happens, I'm usually right. I'm right much more often than I'm wrong. So those of y'all who were on here last night heard me say, well, it could be a big move, or Cameron could play the safe route and say, I don't want to get any more blood on my hands, and put up the same noms that he already put up last time, which were Jag and Blue. And a lot of you said that doesn't make sense, and it doesn't. I'm not even saying that it makes sense, but I did say that's something that I think Cam would possibly do, because Cam is not looking to put anyone through the front door, and he's not looking to nominate new names. So he gave Blue the same kind of speech that he gave her previously, where he's telling Blue, obviously, you're not my target. She tried to put on the waterworks. He was like, I want you to win the power of veto, take yourself down, and probably he would try to put, I'm just guessing, but Izzy. This is the same thing I said yesterday, that I think that he would put two people that were easy for him to put up. He's not going to put up the people that Sari wants him to put up at this moment. I mean, I know anyone but her and Jared, she's happy to get put up. However, he's not going to do the other people like a Felicia or a Bowie, because he's kind of working with Bowie. He was definitely not going to put a Corey or an America up. So by process of elimination, this is kind of what I figured that he was going to do if I was a betting man. this is what I would have guessed that he's going to do. Things could change, but I don't think they will. And I think that that's the noms. He already informed Blue, as a matter of fact. I'm not sure if he had a conversation with Jag about it, but I'm sure he did. I just didn't see it. But I know that he definitely told Blue that he's trying to put up Jag and Blue, and he said that he's trying to get out Jag. So I think that really, but I guess the Jag selection makes sense. I forgot. Was it you, Edward, who suggested that? No, it wasn't you. It was somebody else. I think it was Andre yesterday that suggested that Jag and Cam would work together, but Cam wanted him out at the end of the day. So I think it's a case of I'm not going to get anyone more upset at me. But then the selection of Blue next to him, I think that was a cop-out / easy choice. So all I can hope, I guess, is that somebody wins the power of veto. Maybe Jag wins the power of veto and takes himself down, because it would be more interesting for Blue to stay up, considering that Blue is not the person that anyone cares about in the house in terms of her being dangerous. Okay. I would be gunning for revenge too. This is the other thing that I said last night. I was like, if Cam feels like he has nobody in the game and that he is on his way out, he's going to make a big move, because he's going to say to himself, if I'm in a win or I'm out position, I have to take out a big target and restructure and reposition myself in this whole game to have any shot at winning. But if he's arrogant and he's comfortable, he's going to pick Jag and Blue. That's what I said. If he thinks that he's in good standing in this house and he actually has a leg to stand on, he's going to pick Jag and Blue. And lo and behold, that was his selection. So the man's not making smart moves in any kind of a way. Good morning, Miss Indus. We had an amazing episode, and it turned out to be, I know, right? This is why I said America needed to be the one to win. America. Because Corey was like, oh, best case scenario that Cameron wins. Cameron, I know that he's aware that Cameron wants to get those people out. But there's a difference between him wanting to get them out versus what he's actually going to do. This group has like performance anxiety or something. Respectfully, they have like performance anxiety where they'll have all these conversations. I still remember Cam sitting in the room talking his conversations with Red and his conversations with Riley, where he's sitting around and he's like, especially his conversations with Red, I'm not worried about anyone's ability to win the comps. This person can't win a comp. That person can't win a comp. And me and you are in such a great position because we're comp beasts. So all it takes is for us to win HOH, and then we can shake things up and make big moves and blah, blah, blah. Cam is all talk. Cameron is all talk, no action. Of course, I don't like to promote violence, but if he don't backdoor Cerie's group, I wish the house would smack some sense into him. Performance anxiety is the perfect word. Corey is the king of that. Corey should be gunning to win an HOH. That's what he should be doing. This like play the middle thing. it would be miraculous if Corey made a final 2 seat at this point. It would be miraculous. Knowing the game and playing the game well are two different things. I forgot who said this before on my live, but somebody said they are thinking about the game rather than playing it. Corey is the king of that. Izzy is kind of like that too, so it's no wonder that those two have become fast friends all of a sudden. I can't deny Cam is a comp beast. I think he'll make it to jury. Yeah, he'll probably make it to jury, but he's in a Michael position right now. And I know that he can win vetoes and HOHs and vetoes and HOHs, but he's not going to win all of them. And the minute that he doesn't win a veto after getting nominated to go on the block, he's out of there. He is out of there. The other thing is this group is a little bit dumb. And the reason I'm saying that is because you don't have to get out people just because they are good at competitions. Heisem. Heisem. You don't have to get out people just because they are good at competitions. Because we've seen comp beasts lose in the final. We've seen people who have won comps lose in the final. We've seen people who have won comps make it to jury and be the first one or the second one out. You utilize those comp beasts and you get them on your side, if you're not a comp beast especially, and you point them in the direction of your targets. You get them to take out your targets for you. You don't get blood on your hands, and they stand a higher chance of winning comps than you. Then, once you have gotten out your opposition, then you guys have the numbers. They're going to lose 1 week. You backdoor them. You get them out on a double eviction. Something. Everybody, like, you can. I mean, I understand if you have 4 comp beasts, 4 or 5 of them. Let's say they get 4 or 5 strong guys, or like a few strong guys and strong girls, and you're like, there's too many of them. That I can understand. But 1 or 2, like the Cerise side dangling around the idea of getting out Matt, that would be stupid to me. That would be so stupid to me to get out Matt now. I could understand if you were a final 5 or something. You're like, okay, Matt stands a strong chance to win in the final, in the last HOH. So we don't want him to get to final 3. Let's get rid of him. But with 12 people left in the house and the guy is loyal to you on your side, no. He shouldn't even be. He should not even be on the tip of your tongue until maybe 8, 7, even. If you watch BB14, Cam, I've been hearing that. I should look up BB14 or check out some highlights or something. I heard the shade you just threw. Speaking of double eviction, I can't believe we still haven't heard a word for one. I need a double eviction. I'm starving for a double eviction because we need some excitement. We need a shake up in this house for real. We need that double eviction. Where we at? Good morning, Chocolate. We need that double eviction yesterday. I would love a triple eviction. Now that would be what's up. Give me a triple eviction. We need more people leaving this house, and we need it to be done in a way that doesn't give them time to think and strategize and talk all the different scenarios to death. I wonder what the haters are going to say now that Cameron won HOH and it's still they're They're already saying it, Cameron. They're already saying it. It's so boring. I'm so angry. Sari is controlling everything. You know something that I heard? Not something that I heard. You know something that I read yesterday on a Facebook Big Brother group that I think was such a great thing? They basically said, don't hate the player, hate the game. And the context that they were using it was, don't hate Sari for being so good at implanting ideas into other people's minds and bending them to her will. If you want to be mad at anyone, be mad at CBS production for selecting her for the show. But don't be mad at Sari for being good at the game, being good at playing the game. Because they know who she is. She's Sari Fields. They could have gotten her out week 1. The only person that she has for sure on her side is Jared. 15 other relationships she had to form herself. She had to talk to all these people. She had to downplay her threat level. She had to listen to the stories about their families and share her own. She's been working them. Be mad at all of them for being easily worked. Don't be mad at her for working them. It's just like when I watch sports and somebody says, oh, I'm so mad because the Warriors have a super team. Not now, but back when they had Kevin Durant, for anyone who watches basketball. It's like, oh, the Warriors have a super team, so it's easy. They're steamrolling everybody. Or back in the day when they were like, oh, I don't respect the Lakers because they have Shaq and Kobe, and Shaq and Kobe are boring because they're too good and they're supposed to have more of a challenge. That's not their fault. The GM put them on the roster and nobody can stop them. Don't be mad at the people who are in the house for figuring out a way to be good at the game. If you want to be mad at the people who they're working. Be mad at the people who put them in the house. But even that, I don't see that as a bad thing. Like, they're thinking about, we want to keep this show going. We want to get eyeballs on the screen. You know, we want to make sure that this show continues to be viewed so that we don't have to take it off the air. And ultimately, I said this yesterday or the day before, even if you're watching because of how much you hate Sari and Jared, you're still watching, and that's all that matters. Please hit the like button. Thank you. America and Corey got down. As far as I know, they did not. But I saw a bunch of clips of America continuously trying. He was laying down on his back, and she kept rolling on top of him and rolling on top of him. And he kept telling her, no, it's not going to happen. And she was like, just give me a kiss under the covers. Nobody's going to know. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, as far as I know, America continues to not get what she wants. She continues to try, and she continues to fail. They can't be mad at Sari. She made it oblivious that she stabbed Cam last night. And Cam still don't want to. Oh, she made it obvious. It's supposed to say, yeah. And Cam still don't want to put her up. That's not exactly. Get mad at Cam. Get mad at Cam. Like, you did what was in the best interest of Legend 25 the previous time that you were HOH. And then Sari is part of saving your target to go home. And then the next week, you win HOH again. Nobody cheers for you. And you were Cerie's target. You only happened to not go home because you won Power of Veto. And you still don't take a shot at anybody on that side. They're happy. They're probably happy that he's going to put up Jag and Blue. They're like, Jag and Blue? Shoot. We don't care if either of them go home. That's good with me. I heard her say, work your hips. They were under the covers? I don't know. I would have to see something. I would have to see something. I don't know. I know that she asked him. I definitely saw that, but I did not see something that looked like them doing that. What I do think, well, I have seen their hands go places during certain videos, but in terms of them actually doing the deed, I haven't heard that. I feel like Twitter would explode if that happened. Not in a Monte type of way, but more of a Corey actually did it, that type of thing. That's how I would feel. I do not, Edward. I do not think this thing would last. This is kind of what I feel like with Corey in America, genuinely. I feel like America would want to try to be Corey's girlfriend because she might feel, because I've heard her say in the house before that the guys that she had before were faster. The guys that she had before were not as patient and they didn't respect her. And they just kind of, they just kind of wanted her physically and they used her, etc., that kind of thing. So I almost feel like she looks at Corey as the type of guy she should be with, in a sense, on paper. But I also don't see him as a guy who necessarily would excite her enough. This is probably my counseling part coming in here. I don't see him as necessarily a guy who's exciting enough for her. And I think that she would possibly give it an effort. I can't even say probably. She would possibly give it an effort outside of the house. But ultimately, I think that they're way too different mindsets, different mentalities. And I don't even necessarily know if when they watch the show back or the feeds, if they do watch the feeds, if they're going to want to be with each other. I don't know. I don't think so, though. If I was a betting man, my bet would be on no, it's not happening. I mean, no, I don't think she would be. And I think he would be getting upset at her because he gets upset at her imagine this, right? He gets upset at her inside the house when there's a limited amount of people. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. She's sleeping in his bed. They're laying down and cuddling together every night. And he's getting mad at her talking to or flirting with Jag or flirting with Matt or flirting with Cameron or flirting with Jared, when he knows that that's her default, but she's not doing anything with them. She's not cuddling up with them. She's not touching them in any kind of way. And she's trying to freak his bones every night. And he's jealous of that. So imagine her out in the real world where she has options, where she's going to be going out to parties. She's going to be drinking. He's like, you're drunk, America. You're drunk. This is what on whatever wine she had in the house that night that they had that dinner. Imagine how he's going to feel about her out as an influencer and doing the things that she's going to be doing when she leaves the house. No, I don't think it would work. I really don't. In any way. I'm always angry at the easily manipulate yeah, exactly. See, that I can respect that, you know. Be mad at the person who is easily manipulated, not the person who's going in the house and manipulating them. Don't be mad at somebody who sees people who are very wishy-washy and easily controlled and learns how to take advantage of that. It's not Cerie's fault that they're making it so easy for her. It's their fault. And it's not actually production's fault that they're making it easy for her. Because all production can do is put the people in the house and they're going to do what they do. Look, we were all excited when we saw this cast. We're like, this cast is so diverse. There's so many different communities and races and cultures. We have Matt on here. We have Heisem on there. We got Jack. You know, like we have different age ranges of people. We have so many different personalities. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. The show itself, the writing and the games and the twists and stuff, that could use some help. But in terms of the people they actually placed on the show this season, I think that production did a good job. And I don't think any other pages or people are really saying that, but I think production did a good job with the cast. That's not in relation to how the cast has been acting, but I'm saying you can't necessarily control that. Production can choose the cast. The cast is going to do what they do when you put them in the house. Like, I'm sure they didn't put the BB24 cast in there and say, oh, this is going to be the bullying season. We're going to put in Taylor, and then we're going to put in this and this person and that one, and they're all going to gang up on her and dedicate the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season to getting her out of the house and yell at her and scream at her. They didn't know that. They didn't know what was going to happen with that. That's just the direction that it turned. We have never seen anything like a cookout season in season 23. They didn't know like all 6 of these people are going to work together day one and work to get out all the non-black players. They didn't know that. They can only select the people. What they do when they get in there is on them. Sometimes it's comical. What time is it? Okay, I have a little bit more time. Sometimes it's comical between Corey and America, even though it shouldn't be. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like I'm over it. I'm over it. Because I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, Corey keeps saying, no, America, no. This is not going to happen, America. I told you it's not going to happen. Well, you know, every time you guys get on one of those beds, she's rolling on top of you. She's touching you up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the showmances. But nobody wants to call Corey insecure, but they'll call Jared insecure. It's crazy. Well, they're both insecure, but I think the reason why, well, there's, you know, multiple reasons why, but I think one of the reasons why, have you noticed that Corey masks everything that he wants to say in jokes? Because that's the thing that I've noticed about Corey. Corey makes jokes where he tells America or whoever what he's feeling, but he laughs afterwards like he's telling a joke. That's one of his tell-alls. He'll be like, ha 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 ha! I see you. I see you over there flirting with Cameron. Ha ha ha! That's funny. You want to go screw him? And she'll be like, yeah, I do. And he's like, ha 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 ha. And then when you see him having his monologue, he's actually upset about that. Whereas Jared is more direct. Jared says what he's thinking directly, so you hear his insecurities and you know exactly what they are, whereas Corey is good at pretending. For instance, they were making fun of Corey the other night. They were making fun of Corey a couple of nights ago. I mean, I guess they make fun of him every day, but it was a particular thing where Jared and Izzy were making fun of him and saying he has no game. They're making fun of his game. Like, Corey, we need to help you with the game and whatever. And then he says to America after they leave, oh, I'm not really mad about it, but it's just kind of a lot, but I'm not really mad about it. It's just kind of stupid. Whatever. Haha. And then it showed him talking to the cameras, and he was like, I mean, I'm not mad about them talking about me having no game or anything, but I just, I wish that they would do it less, or, I wish that they wouldn't do it so much. And I'm like, no, you're mad. You're big mad. You're big mad about the cast joking with you like that. You don't take it as a joke. You're offended by it. They recently replaced the casting director. Well, everyone had problems with the casting not having enough diversity on it, and this year they definitely do. This is what I'm saying, Chocolate. The things that America does when they get on the couch or when they get in the bed. There was even one night where she clearly, after he told her that he's not doing anything, she clearly like reached under the blanket and grabbed his genitals. And people were like, did you see that? Is there confirmation? I'll tell you the confirmation. His voice raised like 2 octaves and got louder. And there was movement under the blankets. And I don't know anyone's voice who would just randomly be like, stop, stop. If that wasn't what was going on. All they could do is pick the players. How they play the game is a whole different story. It is. It's like you're constructing a team, right? A sports team. And all you can do is look on paper. This person has this skill. This person has this ability. Like they see them in the casting process. They do interviews. They do cast interviews. They fill out the paperwork. They go through this whole process, and on paper, they're like, this is a great cast. They get in the house. You could get somebody who says a racial slur. You could get somebody who says the R word. You could get somebody who makes inappropriate comments about whatever. You can get somebody who does anything in the house. Why do they call Cam a creep when he talks? I know this is the annoying part to me. She calls Cam a creep, but she admittedly flirts with him. She admits that she is flirting with him. But she's one of the people who calls him a creep. Why are you flirting with him if he's a creep? Oh, thank you for saying that, but I'm so depressed about having to go to the office. I am so depressed about that. Seriously. Because my whole work life before 2020, I was in the office. The office was my comfort zone. That's the only thing that I knew. So I was comfortable. I was good in the office. I thought I'm probably going to spend many years doing office work. When my office first got shut down, I was at another job at this time. But when my office first got shut down, I was like, what am I going to do without the office? I don't feel motivated to work at home. I don't like this. I'm such a creature of habit. They need to open the office back up. But then over time, I was like, if I need to go to a doctor's appointment, I don't have to. I'm not going to say too much, but anyone who works from home knows that there's a lot more flexibility. I'll say it in a general way. working from home provides you and affords you with a lot more flexibility. I get a lot more things done with my day. I still get my work done, but I'm able to get a plethora of other things done within that same 8-hour frame that I otherwise would not be able to get done in the office. With that said, I'm being a baby about it because it's only going to be for now 1 day a week. So I still get 4 days to be at home, and it's just 1 day that I'm going in for now. But even the 1 day is still like, okay, my routine. Because normally on a Friday, I'm like, it's Friday. I can just chill today. Today is my chill day. I can plan my schedule accordingly to where Friday I have the least amount of work and the most amount of relaxation time. But y'all know, when you go in the building, your relaxation time is gone. But thank you for saying that. You know, I'll give you guys updates, of course, on how it goes. This is a new job for me that I started in March. And yeah, somebody happened to leave a position that a role that they were fulfilling at the building, and they needed a replacement. And unfortunately for me, I'm the one who's closest to that facility, and therefore I was the chosen one. I agree. I have a hybrid schedule, but when I work from home, I get so much work done in personal. You know what I'm saying? Something that I learned about this era. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah. Sometimes I like to turn my camera on. Something that I have learned about this era is that before I was work from home, you kind of learn that you can maneuver your time a certain way when you can make your own schedule. So I realized that my old job, I'll keep it on my old job because I'm not there anymore and I'm never going back there. At my old job, I had 8 hours of work to do, and they controlled my schedule because I was in the office. I do counseling. So what would happen is they would spread out all of my visits that people are coming in to get counseling from me. So I'd come in from 9 to 5, right? What time is it? Because I have to get off here really shortly. They would give me clients once an hour, basically, once or twice an hour. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. They would probably stop giving me clients about 4:30. So my day was stretched amongst that 8 hours. If clients didn't come in, Mark, we need you to work on this project. Mark, we need you to create this document. Mark, we need you to do whatever, because they can see and know. My manager creates my schedule, so she knows this is how much you have to do for the day. And if people don't show up, or if your scheduled session goes shorter or something, I know to give you more stuff, right? So they're making sure that you work all of that 8 hours. When that job switched to work from home, I was like, let me see how I can make this work for me. So what I started to do was I scheduled all of my clients back to back from about 9 to 12. So I would work from 9 to 12, see one client after the other for 3 hours. Then I was done with seeing my clients for the whole day, because at that job, that's all I had to do. See them, talk to them. Even though I didn't like the company, that was actually a job that I liked much more than the job I'm doing now. But from 12 to 1, I would input all of my notes into the computer. And then from 1 to 5, I was done. And I did whatever after that. Take a nap, go to the beach, grocery shopping, doctor's appointment, laundry. I was done in 4 hours, and I didn't realize that I could actually finish this job much faster. But in the office, I would never do that. Because if they saw me finish 8 hours of work in 4 hours, they would make me do more work and they wouldn't pay me for it. They would just be like, oh, you can do this 2 times faster than what we're giving you. Oh, you're stealing hours. I feel like they're stealing from us, to be quite honest with you, to keep increasing your requirements. And then, at least at my jobs that I've been at, give you these minuscule, oh, you get like a $2,000 bonus at the end of the year and a 2% raise. Same on work from home. When my dad / boss, oh, you work for your dad, asked me about coming back to work, I told him no way. Oh, by the way, I don't want to get this wrong, but I believe you put a comment in the chat right before I logged off about losing a child, and if so, I am sorry about that. I'm sorry for your loss. I know that's I don't know from personal experience, but I know that's one of the most painful losses that anyone can experience, period. Like, you're supposed to lose a parent, but a child, that's different. We are creatures of habit, and don't interrupt my habit. Exactly. I've been doing this for 3.5 years straight at this point. So even this one day that I have to go in is such a disruption to me. It's an unreasonable disruption. I hope I'm able to come back and tell you guys, like, it's all right. It went okay, but my mind is not there. Have you ever done something where your mind is you're just forcing yourself to do it? That's where I'm at right now. My mind has not caught up to me. Even just the thought of, I have to get up and figure out the clothes that I'm going to wear. This attire, I'm used to just rolling out of bed and logging into my computer. Even meetings. When I first started at the job, for the meetings, I would put on the shirt and the tie. I would wear the shorts. I didn't wear the pants. I would put on like a shirt and tie for the Zoom or for the video, the Teams meeting or whatever. And then after a while, I'm like, I'm at home. I'm putting on a t-shirt. I don't care. As long as I have on a shirt, that's my work attire. I don't care. When you build up good benefits and salary, a company, that's happened to me. My position at my old company, let me tell you how crazy this is. At my old company, I worked for them for 5 years. When I started at the company, my salary was $27,000 when I started at the company. I mean, the base pay for the position is way higher now, but at the time, that was 2015 when I started with them. And the base pay was, the pay, excuse me, I'm sorry. The pay was $27,000 for me. So I worked and I pleaded and I begged them. Y'all are underpaying me. Y'all are underpaying me. Y'all are underpaying me. And when I left, my salary was like $48,000. It had gone up. It had gone up almost close to double in the time that I spent with them, but not because of them just being like, okay, we're going to give you this salary. It was because of a couple of times that I was about to leave. That's the reason why. And I think they felt like they didn't have better candidates at that time. And I know before I had left, they were trying to significantly increase my caseload. They were telling me I need to see 75 people a week, when originally when I signed up, they were like, you need to see 30 people a week. 30 to 75 is a massive jump. So I'm like, if you expect me to even consider doing this much more, you've got to pay me significantly more. And I didn't give them a chance to fire me. because I got a sense that that's the direction that it was headed. And I started looking for other jobs. I found one, I bounced, and that was it. I didn't even give them a 2 weeks, actually. I just left. Because when I'm done, I shouldn't say that, because this is the only company that I've ever not given a 2 weeks. I've always given other companies a 2 weeks, but that company in many ways did me so dirty that I was like, when I find another job, I can't wait for this effective immediately notice that I'm going to give them. All right. Retaliation. Yeah, oh, that's what I forgot, Harmony, actually. I didn't even finish my point. So when I went online and looked up the position that I had just left, I told y'all it was like 48,000 that they were giving me when I left. And then when I looked up the position, that when they put it back up after I left, the range said 30 to 35. So yeah, they wait until you're in there for a certain amount of time. You've made a certain amount of contributions. This is not all companies, but I will say this is a large percentage of people's companies. And I talked to many people. I talked to a lot of my friends, and they've experienced similar, some of them. Anyways, I do have to go. This has been a nice distraction for what's otherwise going to be a whatever kind of day. We'll see what kind of day it turns out to be. I've got to get myself ready. Got to figure out what I'm going to wear. And I've got to somehow get my mind in a frame to meet these people and pretend like I'm okay with this pulling me out of my habitat. Adult life is very exhausting. I was actually just talking to somebody about that yesterday. It's very exhausting. One of the best time periods of my life, believe it or not, was so a couple of years ago, not a couple of years ago, actually, not even a year ago, last November, when my dad was in hospice care, they told us that he had days to live. He wasn't going to live more than a month. That's what they told us in November. So I took off 3 months from work in anticipation of losing him during that time period. But he lived that whole time period, the whole leave that I took. And during that time, I mean, sometimes I had to do. He was already at the nursing home at that time, so it was just I was going in to visit him. But aside from that, now the nursing home people were taking care of him, and that's when I, number one, got my old YouTube page monetized because I was able to dedicate a lot of time to that. But also, everything that I put on my schedule during that time period was things that I loved to do. If I was like, I want to take a certain type of class, or I want to learn how to do a certain activity, I would be like, okay, this is my schedule on Monday. Monday, I'm going to go to this acting class, 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to the gym at 11. I'm going to go see my dad at 12. I'm going to cook something at 1. I'm going to take a break and watch TV at 2, and then I'm going to do this at this time. And it was such an amazing time period, those 3 months, because I'm one of those, I hate Monday and I love Friday people. But during that time period, when I was doing all the things that I love doing, I didn't hate Monday. I woke up in the morning and I was like, It's another Monday. So many possibilities. Let's see what happens. I'm so excited at all the different things that I want to do and I'm going to do this week. People don't realize, not everybody realizes. I mean, not everybody feels this way, but I feel this way. The crunch of having 40 hours per week worth of things that you don't want to do. 160 hours every month of your life dedicated towards things that you don't really want to do is a recipe for depression. And people just act like that structure is just normal. It's taking time away from your opportunity to spend time with your family. It's taking time away from your ability to rest. It's taking time away from, your ability to do a lot of the things you have to do to maintain yourself, because you work that 8 hours and then you're like, people are like, oh, have a good day, rest up. But you're like, after work, I have to do A, B, C, D, and E responsibilities. So I can't really rest up. So I go from work to chores and responsibilities. And then I get maybe like a little bit of time, which I might fill watching a TV show that I like or doing one thing. And then it's like, I got to go to bed and get up and do this all over again. I watched mom and dad do that for probably 35, 40 plus years apiece. They did it from their 20s up until retirement. 40 years in the system, both doing things that they didn't like. And I respect it because they did it for myself and for my sister, for us to be able to, live a certain type of life that they were not able to live, both coming from third world countries, Guyana, and growing up poor and everything like that. So I didn't have to grow up poor. And I respect that. But I have an aim not to spend 40 years, 30 years of my life unhappy. I already feel like I can't believe I've spent this many years doing this stuff. It's been maybe 10 years since I graduated. And I've been doing the type of work that I'm doing now. I've been doing about 8, 9 years, something like that. Closing in on 10. That feels like a long time for me. But I always believe that as soon as I find that right thing and that right opportunity, I'm going to be doing something else. But I'm trying to stay locked in as much as I can to what I'm doing right now and make the most of it, make the best of it until the other opportunities present themselves. With that said, yes, I'm hopping off. And hold on a second. TGIF, be positive. Thank you. And we will talk again probably in the evening. Have a great day, everybody.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on everything.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
But
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
well, thank you.